Hello, I'm Hanfeng Wang, and this is final project for global trade. My company is KP Pigments. Okay, the KP Pigments mainly produce the pearl product for the removable car paint called PlastiDip, and it's already a industry leader in this segment. And it's already formed a great loyal community and the customer base in US. And the location of the store is in Oceanside, New York, which is a great location. And the product I choose is Dip. It's called Dip Pro Top Coat, and it is now a great time to expand globally. The country I choose is China. It is my home country. Unfortunately, it does not have a free trade agreement with the United States. And for the bilateral economic relations, the U.S. approach to its economic relations with China has two main elements: integrating China into the globe, rule-based economic and the trading system, and expanding U.S. exporters and investors' access to the Chinese market, and that is a good sign. And the two-way trade between China and the United States has grown from 33 billions in 1992 to over 562 billions in goods in 2013. That's almost like 20 times more in 2 decades. It's very impressive. China is currently the third largest export market for U.S. goods, right after Canada and Mexico, and the United States are China's largest export market. It means China is a huge market for U.S. For the cultural dimensions in China, first of all, individualism versus collectivism. It scores at 20, which is pretty low. The people in China will act the interests of the group and not necessarily for themselves. Secondly, the power distance scored at 80 is pretty high. It's a society that believes that the equality among people are acceptable. Then the uncertainty avoidance in China, people are pretty flexible, to suit actual situations. And then the pragmatism uh, scored at 80. People believe that truth depends very much on situation, context, and time. And the indulgence, the scores at 24 is pretty low. It does have a does have a tendency to cynicism and pessimism. For product adoptions, first of all, the label and description of the product has to be Chinese. Then in China, people use international system of units. So for my product, in US, we use gallon. However, in China, we use liter. And finally, the product price gonna adjust to Chinese yuan. Okay, then it's a SWOT analysis for the strengths. I think our biggest strength is the product itself. It is the most advanced product in this segment, far superior than other plastic product, and it's already been proven is well accepted in U.S. market. And then we do have a very talented team. And the last strength we have is we are in New York. It's the largest city in U.S. And we are actually located right like close next to the port, which is a make export our product a lot easier. For the weakness, I think the biggest weakness we have is the tax rate. It's very high, gonna definitely have a big impact on our product final price in China. And also, our team has limited experience in doing exporting. And then our brand image is not established in China. Like I don't think there are any Chinese people heard of the KP pigment and the plastic before. And also, it is a completely new idea to change the color of the car and to use our product. This is completely new, so people might need to take time to adjust these ideas. For our opportunities, uh, first of all, China is a huge potential market. There's more than 10 billion people in China, and also for cars, there's more than 150 million cars in China right now. So that's definitely a huge amount of numbers. Uh, then we can cooperate with a strong local company like car paint shop like franchise. So that definitely gonna enhance our ability to sell our product in China. For threats, there's are many knockoff products in China. They're much cheaper, but the quality just cannot match our product. So, but it is a threat. And the other threats is government regulations and financial risk. For market entry, I will choose the indirect method. I think the indirect market entry is the best way to enter the Chinese market. It is I don't think it's a good idea to sell our product directly to our customers, since our product is car paint, and the most of Chinese people live in apartments, so they do not have a space to paint the car themselves. So I will choose to piggyback exporting. I would like to partner up with the chain car shop firm franchise in China. I can wholesale our product to them, and they can apply our product to their customers. Their shop network and Chinese local marketing will be a great advantage. One drawback is lack of control. For the freight forwarder, I choose FedEx Trade Networks Transport and Brokerage Inc. One reason I choose it because the FedEx large company is well known and it's very reliable. Another reason is because it actually very close to our stores. For the logistics, I choose CIF, which stands for Cost, Insurance, and Freight. Uh, as you can see in the picture, the seller in charge of tracking to port, cargo terminal, customs, loading, and ocean and air freight. Since we are at a great location near the port, so it's easier to do it ourselves. And since we pay the insurance, it's safe to ship ourselves too, and we do have more control. Unfortunately, there are a lot of tariff and taxes. The tariff treatment number one is the general rates of 70% based on CIF, and the tariff number two is the most for nations rate, 10% based on CIF, and the VAT standard VAT tax is 17% based on CIF plus duties. For the payment options, we will use cash in advance at the beginning since we are very new to export, and it is the most secure way of payment. And this way we can minimize the risk. Later on, if we gain some trust with our business partners, if we do business for a while and we think we can trust each other, then we can do a letter of credits. The risk factor I choose is based on a very recent real events. First of all, it's a currency exchange rate risk, US dollar to Chinese yuan. Just yesterday, the value of Chinese yuan decreased more than 2%. It actually can make a big impact on exporters. And secondly, is the environmental risk. Yes, and just yesterday, there is a huge, massive explosion in Tianjin. Uh, if you watch news, you probably know this. There's very bad, and as you can see on the picture, there's thousands of the container exploded, because there's some flammable chemical stuff in there, just exploded. Our product is flammable too, so it is a big risk there too. For advertising and trade shows, I choose 20 seconds China International Expo for auto electronics, accessories, tunings, and car care products. Uh, the CIAACE shows a 4-day international trade show located in Beijing, China. It shows all kinds of car-related products. The size of the show is very big. There are more than 6,000 booths, 3,000 companies, and 100,000 customers visiting each year. My main strategy is make a strong brand impression there, and meanwhile seek the potential car shop that we can cooperate. I would like to set a booth and bring our product to the show. There are also many other companies put a car in their booth to get attention. I would like to do that too, since my product is unique car paint. I can borrow the car from my friends in Beijing. Use of the real car with our paint will be a lot more eye-catching and convincing than just photo and videos. It will make our product more visible in the trade show. So it might cost a good amount of money, but it will definitely worth the cost. And that will be it. Thank you for watching.